All right, guys. Our next project, like I said, we have so much to talk about. We've been talking for almost an hour now, and we still have
Woo.
more. We still have a whole bunch of other things to cover. Um, this is the project that I'm probably the least excited for. Probably no. Underscore. This is the project I'm least excited for. An animated series of short films from various anime creators called Visions, Star Wars Visions. The description calls it Star Wars Visions is an original series of animated short films. According to Disney, the series will be a celebration of Star Wars, and it will be brought to life by the world's best Japanese anime creators. Visions will premiere in 2021 on Disney Plus and will run for 10 episodes. So it's first of all, it sounds like it's a limited series. Which hey, limited series, extended series, whatever, is fine. I've been very vocal in saying this. I am not an anime fan. Everyone that I've ever said that to always comes back at me. Well, you just haven't seen the right anime. I don't care. I don't care if I've seen the right like I get the concept that there are some anime projects that are more apt for certain people and less apt for certain whatever. I just don't like the style. I don't like the brand of animation of how it looks. It's the same reason that I don't really care for uh was it Universal Illuminations brand of their uh, animation style. It just doesn't speak to me. I don't really care for it. Wallace and Gromit. I adore stop motion animation, probably more than any other style of animation. But there's just something about the aesthetic of the Wallace and Gromit characters and like Chicken Run and like that style. It just doesn't speak to me. I just don't like how it looks. And it's something that I can't exactly put my finger on. I just don't care for it. So I will be skipping Star Wars Visions altogether. Eric, are you an anime fan? Does this excite you? I do kind of like the idea of like all these individual stories, and they're calling it a celebration of Star Wars,
Mhm.
which evokes thoughts and imagery of not Last Jedi,
Return of the
Thank you.
Jedi.
It's like the Jedi
The Yum
Strikes
Yum.
Back. That's not it.
Knock knock.
Return of the Jedi. At the
Knock knock.
end,
Knock
we're
knock.
like,
knock.
yeah, the tuk tuk. Um,
Yeah, which is not in there anymore.
if you have the
Which
original
is disappointing.
DVD, it's on there.
If you do. Well, I was just well, we watched it on Disney Plus with my daughter, and I was really
So
disappointed
sad.
it didn't show
So
up.
sad.
Um, you mentioned that Disney Plus's new content is limited, and they've been running off the stuff they have. One thing that it's sort of buried in the Disney Plus library, as it were, was something really cool, and it is some animated shorts, and they have a few really cool specials, and one of them is I don't know how many, maybe 14 mini, and we're talking like 2 to 5 minute
Micro shorts.
episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're micro shorts. They're little, they're small things. They have nothing to do with Star Wars. The whole purpose of them was to basically use an experimental form of
Mm-hmm.
animation, and that was the challenge. Small story, uh, and new style of animation. Give me a short and see what happens. And they're almost all incredibly
So
delightful.
in that,
And the best part about it,
oh sorry, in
yeah,
that
go ahead.
regard, one of
Sorry.
my guests on Monday, Tracy Mull, her sister is one of the animators who created one of those original shorts. Yeah.
Very cool. They're worth it. And if you even if you don't like animation, I think it's worth it because it's good storytelling. Um, they're they're just simple and fun, and every single one of them's different in every way, shape, and form. From the sound, the look, the feel, and the story. Some are audio based, some are visual based, and there's everything in between. And I hope, do I want this? No, I didn't need it. I don't know if anyone even asked for it. But I hope that this is that same thing where instead of us getting deep into some really crazy animated version of a Star Wars moment, that we're really just going to get some vignettes in the universe and some cool creators like, here's a cool mini story, and we're talking like
Yeah.
5 minutes. I don't want like anything
Yeah.
extended. And we get to see some different animation styles. I know they're focused. They're saying anime. I I'm willing to bet you we're going to get some amazingly varied styles, and some of them will be hand drawn, some of them will be computer based, and I'm willing to bet you they will look impressive. And I hope that they have a through line or a theme. Disney's re-released there's some Zenimations, which are these moments of all their content, but with all the dialogue out, and they just use sound effects, and it highlights the sound effect stuff.
Interesting.
It's kind of great,
Interesting.
and also it's a really good way to put a kid to sleep. In the end, it's like, here's a quick 5 minute thing that's supposed to be calming and relaxing. I hope that if they put that same focus and the same care into it, I think they can come out with a
Yeah.
real win.
I don't disagree with any of that. And I think I think that it's from a creative perspective, I think it's important, first of all, that they have projects like this. And I also think it's fascinating. I think it's brilliant. I think it's wonderful. It gives other people a voice and an opportunity that they otherwise wouldn't have had. And delving into what you said about the varying styles of anime, I think is also really interesting. Taking my personal distaste for anime out of the equation, I think that's fascinating, and I think that could be really creative and really interesting, and draw in a lot of really interesting audiences. And even from the storytelling perspective of having like smaller stories in this format, I think is as I kick my microphone over, I think is very interesting, and that is something that I would like to see. Yeah, I'm just not. You know what? I'll give it this. In all candor, I will wait for the trailers to come out, and if it looks like something that isn't going to be like super hardcore anime, because that was something that I was hoping with. Was it Gotham Knights? I believe. There was an animated film. I think it was called Gotham Knights, maybe like 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Came out on DVD, obviously also digital, and I was like, okay, you know what? If I'm going to get into anime, it's going to be this. And it's the same thing, a series of shorts of various anime styles revolving around Batman and whatever. I still own the DVD. I still have only watched half of it.
I mean, if it's not your style, it's
Not
not
my
your
style.
style. And I do wonder who asked for this, because I don't know if anyone really did ask for it specifically. But if they put the energy and the effort in, it could be
You
really
know, who
delightful.
asked for this? Maybe not a lot of people, but I think it is a smart move on the creative's part, or maybe the studio part, to say this is an emerging, like, anime has a massive fan base.
Oh yeah.
Massive. And to delve into, like, to kind of dip your toe into that anime pool a little bit, I think is kind of a smart move on their part.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to happen anyway. So this way they get to have some
Yeah.
control over what's out there. And I think it's
Yep.
it's good. And fingers crossed, it's
Hope,
fun.
fingers crossed, it's fun. Anyway, guys, what do you think of Star Wars Visions? What do you hope for? What kind of stories would you like to see be told? Would you like to see more Skywalker related stuff, or would you like to see more extended stuff? Jump on down to the comment section below and let me know your thoughts. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Scrooge McDuck would want you to do. DuckTales, woo!